Hi guys, and welcome back to another Sonic Academy tech tip. In this one I'm going to show you how to do a quick gating trick with Ableton Live's new warping function. And I've got a tune here already put in. I'll just delete it out and I'll just bring it in just to show you exactly what's going on. And all of these transient hits here, we're going to use these to create our gate. So I'm just going to hit the loop button and I'm going to move our loop pointers just to the middle of our tune. And if I just make sure I've got a good loop here. Okay, so that's looping around perfectly. And if we just go down to this warp section here, we've got all of our different warp modes, and we've got a new mode here called Complex Pro, which is just an advanced version of the Complex warp mode that was in previous versions. But we're going to keep it on beats here. And if we go down to the bottom here, we've got this Transients mode now. And in here, basically what happens is all of these beats, all of these wee hits here, these wee transient hits are playing, are being triggered by Ableton to play, and it's playing right the way through, and then the next one's trigger and it's playing, and then this one and so on. And we've got these different modes here where if you hit it to the first mode, which is just this transient loop off, basically when it gets to the end of this note, it'll just stop playing completely, and it'll wait for the next transient hit before it starts to play that, and then once it gets to the end of it, it'll wait until this one starts. And then we've got the loop forward, which basically when it gets to the end of this, it'll create a short loop where it'll just keep playing it over and over until it gets to here. So you get a sort of a stuttered effect. And this one here is loop back and forward. And basically what it does is it gets to the end of it and it starts to loop forward and then back and forward and back and forward and back until it gets to the next transient point again. And I can actually demonstrate this if I just turn the volume or the track tempo down. So I set it to off for now. It's going to play this first transient hit, it's going to stop and then wait for the next one. And then if I turn it to the loop forward, it's going to do the quick loop at the end of each transient. It's just to fill in the gaps. And then we've got the loop forward and back, which basically just loops forward and backwards when it gets to the end. Makes it sound a tad more smooth, just depending on what sound you're looking for. But we're going to put it up to 128 for now. And then we're going to make use of turning this transient loop mode off. And then beside it, we've got transient envelope. And basically what it does is it tries to crossfade between each of these transient hit points. So when it gets to the end, if it's at 100, it's just going to continue through and you're not going to notice a transition between the hits. If we turn it down, we're going to get a sort of scattered gating effect, which is what I'm trying to show you in this tutorial. And the more you turn this up, the longer the fade. And from here you can actually go in and you can move these transient points. So if you hold down the shift key, you can actually move a transient point about, or you can also delete a transient point completely by holding down Alt or Option in a Mac. And if you double click on the transient point, and you can also, so you can just use this to create your own rhythm. So we just delete this one maybe. So you just play around with it, putting in those different transient points until you get a loop that you like the sound of. And you can also go into the granulation resolution, which basically it either reads the transient hits or it goes to a setting that you set yourself. So if you wanted a 16th gate to go on there automatically, you just set that to 16s, and then this obviously this transient envelope is how long that gate or how long the fade is on each of the hits. So you can set it to 8s. Or you can set it back to transients. Okay, so I hope this tech tip gives you a bit of inspiration, and I'll see you again in the next tutorial.